Welcome to Hablemos Real Estate with
Victoria, Amaya, and
Carlos Amaya. And today we're going to be talking in terms of how the generations are investing right now. What are the trends? We're going to look some numbers. So if you plan to buy a house in the near future, this is a show that definitely you would like to watch at least once.
Or listen to.
If not twice, So stay with us. We're going to be back in a few seconds.
Pero los clientes, número uno.
Es tu dinero cuando pasa una situación como esta. ¿Sí? Bienvenidos una vez más a su programa, Hablemos de Real Estate con Carlos Amaya.
Y Juliana Estrada.
Welcome once again to our show. I have an amazing show for you guys today, and I have an amazing guest invited.
Hello, I'm Victoria Amaya. This is Carlos Amaya, my beautiful father. I'm a realtor here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and also a future investor. So very excited about
Yes,
that.
and if you missed the last week show, we spoke about why Victoria decided to start her real estate career at 19 years old. It's in Spanish though, so if you want to practice,
so if
Spanish,
you're bilingual, or if you want to practice, or if you want a level 3 version of Dora the Explorer, make sure to check that out. It is posted in our account.
Dora the Explorer. Okay, so let's go and start. So we're gonna be talking today in 2004 report from NAR, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, and they discuss the topics of investing in terms of trends. So we're gonna share some numbers and we're going to share some of our experience, and also if you have any questions, you can put the questions in the inbox and we're going to reply to you guys once we got the team forward to us, and we're going to be able to do it maybe live, or maybe we do it after the show.
Yes.
So first of all, what do they need to do if they want to follow our channel, Victoria?
If you guys want to follow our channel, depending on which platform or social media you're on right now, if you're on YouTube, just make sure to click that subscribe button and also turn on notifications. If you're on Insta, make sure to click that follow button. And I don't think you can turn on notifications, but you'll be able to be notified of our stories. And if you're on Facebook, even though I'm not that old, so I don't use Facebook that much, but if you're on Facebook, I think there's a follow button, and then you can be notified of every single time that we post. But we are very active on every single one of those platforms, so make sure to be on the lookout for that.
So Facebook for the old people, that's what you say?
For the old people, yes.
Okay, talking about old people. Because I'm talking about
you.
Well, well, so we're gonna start talking in terms of like the different times of ages people have, and then usually the generations, and they're named for different kind of reasons. So we're gonna try to first of all describe which are the gap years, the years in terms of the generation, because we're gonna be use that term during the show. Okay.
Yes.
So let's start for the silent generation. What the name of the silent generation? I really don't know, but that's the people that were born between
1925 and 1945. So they're the people that have the most amount of years on this planet, mostly, than everyone else.
Yeah.
They're the most experienced, and they're the people that have been able to accumulate actually a good amount of real estate and or wealth, which is why they're commonly the people that are trying to sell their properties right now more than buy them.
Yeah, and this one generation coming up is the baby boomers, and it's divided in two different categories. And the baby boomers is a really important generation, because after the Great Depression, the Great Depression. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't that great.
Well, it was great because of the amount of effects they have in the economy. Those babies that were born after that, they become the baby boomers, and they are one of the biggest movers or drivers of the economy, because of the amount of wealth power that they have. In terms of the older boomers, the people that were born from 1946 to 1954, and they divided to the younger boomers, which is at that time when they were younger, but right now they need to be more experienced.
From 1955 to 1964.
And in my opinion, the best generation is coming up with Generation X.
That's the one that you're in, right? Generation X.
That's the smart generation alive. 1965 to 1979. So I was.
When were you born again?
Uh, Generation X,
What year?
1975, the best year of the world.
1975.
Okay, so those are Generation X, and then millennials. We mentioned about the millennials. The used to be the youngest generation, but now we have two. I mean, they divided in two, and so all the generations from 1980 to 1990 and 1989.
Mhm. And then the younger Gen Y millennials is from 1990 to 1998.
And the newer generation is I'm gonna give it up to you.
Generation Z, the ones that are hungry and ready to eat and take over the world. We are from 1999 to 2011. I was born in 2004, so I was very much in the middle of those two. But those are the ones that are taking the world by storm right now, definitely, in my opinion.
In your opinion?
In my opinion.
They're really hungry, but
they're hungry. Yeah, we're starving. And that's why we're going to be able to have a feast later on when we finish.
Oh, we'll see. Okay, so this is a graphic when it tells couple of things, couple of different information. The buyers and sellers by generation. We're gonna focus this show in terms of the buyers because we're gonna talk about like who's buying and what are they buying and what are the challenges that they face the buying. So we'll see. Obviously, when I was preparing this show, I was like, why don't they do this different color? Why does it have to be blue and blue? Could be like blue and green. It would be easier to read, but it's okay. Hopefully, you guys have
for the Gen Zers that have 20/20 vision and don't have glasses.
Okay, so the light blue is the buyers. That's the graphic that we're gonna focus on, and then so we were our team was nice enough to put all the data here, so it's gonna be easy for us. So who's the people that the generation they're buying more properties in the current market as
like Gen Xers,
Generation Xers, 1965 to 1979, and we're gonna look what kind of properties are they buying? Are we buying? Because I'm part of that generation. And then after that, who the next generation that they're buying they're buying properties right now are Generation
Y, but we mostly refer to them as older millennials.
Yes, and they have the 21%, which is the 1980 to 1989, and after that, it's a very tight number in terms of like the young boomers, 19%.
And then the younger Gen Y, younger millennials, which are trying to make it at 17%. Still a very big number, though.
Big number. And then the older boomers are buying at 12%. And then the Gen Zs are really fall behind. 2%.
We're last place, but you try to let us get a little bit more equity and a little bit more money to put that down payment, and then we'll be racking up the numbers real soon.
We'll see. So these are the numbers in terms of who's buying it, in terms of like what age gap. So these are the same numbers in terms of like the median age of each one of the groups. And again, Generation X. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, like my moving here. So it's 24%. So something really special here, and I really like want to focus in this one is the composition of the household for the buyers. So we already know the X's are the ones that are buying more properties right now. Okay, but we want to see what is the distribution. Okay, in terms of like it's here. Okay, so usually if you see the
dark blue
is the married couple, married people. The light blue
is the single people.
Well,
I'd say okay, so dark blue married couple. The medium like turquoise kind of royal blue is the single females, which is surprisingly taking the second place by a big storm. Light blue is single male, which is excessively smaller, and we will talk about that later. The lime green is unmarried couples, which means they're dating, right? Yeah. And then the yellow is other situations.
Yeah. So if we see overall, the majority of the buyers are usually married couple, but there's different gaps in terms of the different kind of like age gap in generation. If you see over here the X and the boomers, the married couples are 66%, 50%, 61%. So that is the big majority. Okay, yes. and that's normal. Well, it's not normal. That's how they used to be. But things are changing, and something that I want to emphasize in terms of the new generation. How the gap is a lot smaller. Just if you see the married
people compared to the single female,
32%, and look at the females, 31%.
So 1% difference.
1%, and that generation is the highest amount of numbers of female buyers And I see that happening. I mentioned this multiple times in the show, where whenever we go to like a networking event, we were in one last night, and when
Yes.
you see like usually people that the are here with us in the shows and they are asking questions like in direct messages, it's mostly females.
It is.
It's mostly females. A lot of the people that have been going through our different mentoring programs and mastermind programs are females as well. And you look and you can see the numbers. I mean, you can see that overall they always were the second kind of like range of people that were buying, right? Yeah, like the composition in the household. But now the numbers a lot closer. The
When
31%.
the age is under 25. So
Yeah.
a lot of young people, a lot of young women are the ones that are closing the gap there.
Can you tell your experience in terms of that, and what do you think that's happening,
Mhm.
and what is the opportunity for younger females, and what is that happening? So why
Why is it
maybe
happening?
in the past there was the conception that you need to be married and be able
Mhm.
to buy a property because you need to qualify for a mortgage, you need to qualify for different program, different loan, different structure, different job situation. But now with the new generation, they said that that's not the case. We can just buy without it.
Yes. So I cannot speak on behalf of every single person in this statistic when it comes to my age range because I do fit between the 18 to the 24. But what I've been able to analyze from outside is that right now, a lot less women are getting married. So that's why it's very easy for them, the single females, to compete with the married couple ranks because the amount of married couple is going lower, which makes the percentage of married couples buying houses to lower as well. So right now we're being taught and we're being able to learn that first of all, you do not have to be married to be able to be successful and to grow. But they are also thinking, well, now that I'm not married, I have to be in charge of making sure that I'm financially stable. And then they're already able to see and analyze the pattern. And then they're like, wow, a lot of people, if they buy houses, the value of that house is going to grow through time. And then if I own a house and I can just be able to refinance that property, or if I can be able to have the growth of that value of that property, I'm going to be financially stable. So now they're able to see that, they're able to see the pattern, and they're realizing they do not have to be married because they already have savings or financial education when it comes to that to be able to buy those properties. But
Yeah,
that is why I think that statistics changing a little bit.
I agree 100%. Something that I realized, and that's something that I was told when I was younger, there's that females usually tend to mature a lot faster.
Yes.
You see 19-year-old versus nothing against 19-year-old boys, but they've been thinking in complete different stuff. And usually even when you get older. So something that I noticed when a lot of couples that approach us, they want to get some guidance, some kind of like mentoring program. It's usually it's one of them lagging and lagging in terms of finances, in terms of like maybe the credit, the ruin the credit when they were younger because they got a lot of credit cards and they were like partying and with all those things. And then there is usually that's the male. I'm not trying to say it's all of them, but usually it's the male that's trying to like the wife is trying to fix the credit and organize all their finances because maybe he didn't make the best decision when he was younger.
Yeah.
So I noticed that a lot of the females that you said they're not getting married, they might be in a relationship, but they don't want to
Not
get
married yet.
and not
Yes.
married, and they say, you know what? Now, and I'm not saying that's the right way to do it, but say, now we're gonna divide our finances. I'm gonna do me, and then you're gonna do your finances, and then eventually we want to get married. I want to make sure that I can bring my own stuff to the marriage, and I keep it as well.
Yes.
How you see that going in
With
your,
that going, I'm not married personally, so I don't really know about that, but I do understand their train of thought when it comes to thinking, well, I have really good credit score. And then there's a lot of like independent singularity of a type of motion that's going on right now. So they're thinking, well, I'm going to get married spiritually, emotionally, but financial wise, it's both of our money, yes, but we can still keep it in separate bank accounts because they're trying to like still protect themselves in case anything happens because the rate of divorce is getting pretty high. But I do feel like it's kind of like a safety mechanism in a way that they're thinking, or they're thinking, hey, I earned this money, I'm working on it, I'm going to be able to invest it, and if I lose it, then it's on me and I don't have to impact someone else's finances entirely. But
yeah, and going back, like the United States is a country that is based of like a lot of people that immigrants that came out of the different parts of the world. Okay, and then usually like the old school was you have to marry and your husband has to provide, and then woman said, I want to work as well, but usually you have to ask the husband or just let him guide you.
Yes.
And I think that's not happening recently.
Yeah,
It's
they're not.
still happening, but not to the point that was like forced by the families.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're
you
also
have-
our only option as well. I feel like they're seeking guidance still from other guys, other teachers, other mentors, but they're not seeking guidance from their husband because maybe they're thinking of them less as a teacher, but more as a life partner, which is
Yeah.
a different kind of mental shift.
and they choose to who they want to hear instead of being
Yes.
forced to.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're single right now, single female, and the numbers are in your favor, okay,
Yes.
because you're the group of buying my properties, what would be the advice that you give them? Like someone that is watching us and is within your age
Mhm.
gap, age group, and they said, you know what, I don't know, I'm buying a house right now. I hear all the different stories, how hard it is. The market's not good. I just want to wait for the right time,
Mhm.
and we got news for you. It's never right. It's never,
Oh, you
it's
stole
never the right
what I
time.
was gonna say.
Okay, so go ahead. I will say it.
Okay, my advice to all those single females that are between that age range of 18 to 24 is like we said before, there will never be the perfect time to invest in the market. You're thinking, I'm going to be able to find that perfect time in the market in maybe 5 or 10 years, and then I'm going to invest in the perfect time and have the highest and best use for all of my properties, and my portfolio is going to be perfect. The chances of that happening are very slim. Invest right now, because the point that you are right now will probably be the cheapest that you'll be able to have a property, because every property is going to grow through time anyways. It's always going to be an appreciation mode, or it depends, but still in the average base wise. So do not be scared. As you're all doing right now, as I can see, keep doing it, keep educating yourselves, keep seeking mentors, keep looking at these kind of podcasts or content giving structures and channels that are educating you for free, giving you good advice, but also keep making friendships at networking events. And you guys are already doing it. I can see you guys. I see you guys in the networking events. Keep befriending those people, keep getting those phone contacts, keep following up. Biggest thing, follow up with those friendships, because they will grow and they will help you grow with them. If you see someone who's on fire for real estate, who's going to invest and who has this portfolio already, contact them. You are not bothering them. They are lonely too, and they want friends too. So make sure to grow your friendships, make sure to grow your contacts, but also do not be afraid to still be able to have like an eye open for love. Love is okay. Love is totally fine. But just make sure to be able to keep a balance.
And
with
I love
everything.
I love that you mentioned that, because I'm pro marriage. So we've been married for 25 years, happily married.
Him and his wife.
Yeah. Who is it? Who
You
is?
said we've been married.
Yeah, with my wife.
He's his wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with my wife, which is
My
mom.
mother.
That's it. We are not being married.
Yes. Me, my beautiful mother, Juliana, who, if you even click on our profile, once you're able to see her, she's my biggest supporter, our biggest supporter, and she's a sweetheart, and I love
Yeah.
to be around.
Totally. And this is not the kind of show to try to discuss in terms of like market conditions, but something I'm gonna say really brief is that the market is always cyclical. You know, people try to time it, and that's really hard to do, because when the numbers come out for statistics, are usually like 3, 4, 6 months later. So people say, "Oh, I would buy it in the low in the market." I mean, and that's what I'm going to be waiting forever, and that's not how it works. You buy real estate and wait, and just don't wait and buy real estate.
That's smart. They should put that on a poster.
Yeah, I didn't. It's not my phrase. So one of the main guys said. I don't recall who said it, but yes. Okay. Anyway, so this is a good one in terms of like ethnicity. Who's buying properties right now? So the biggest number.
We can see a little bit of a pattern here. The main number one is white/Caucasian, destroying the scoreboard right now.
Yes.
The second place.
And the reason why is because there are many, like more of them right now. Okay.
Would it be because of more of them?
Well, yeah,
sure?
you see, like right now, the population of the United States, I'm not sure how many million, like 300 million. I don't know the numbers. And the percentage of the other ethnicities is smaller. I mean, it's growing. I mean, don't get me wrong. 20, 30 years from now, we're gonna be a lot closer to what it is right now. But it's still, it's a majority of the population. Maybe, and that's key. Maybe in different cities, like in the main city, you might not see it, but United States is a big country. It's a lot of places that
it's not just California, it's Texas, New
York
York,
City,
New Jersey, if you're generous. It's not just, there's other ones as well.
But the Latinos, we come out second.
We did.
And then we see a trend of that happening as well, because we have a lot of more Latino desire to learn to real estate, a lot of more content in Spanish as well. It's weird that we said that because speaking English right now, but
believe it or not, we are Hispanic, we are Colombian, and today we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing in the semifinals for the Copa America.
Yes, so that's huge to realize it, and that is important. Why? Because you want to see who are you serving? You see who are your
Yeah.
clients, and obviously there is a niche in any one of the markets. I mean, people that are doing great in just serving the white Caucasian, great in, like to Latinos, to the Asian, Pacific Islander, or the African Americans. So those are great markets, all of them. But reality, even though the numbers are improving for in our case in the Hispanic Latino, I think it's still we have still a long way to go.
Yes.
And I think that's one of our try of our goals to try to shorten the gap,
Yes.
be able to provide and share more information. And I think that what you're doing right now in terms of like sharing your story and all the struggles and everything you're going through is going to motivate a lot of our community to be able to get into the market.
That would be nice.
Okay, I think that you have a great opportunity to do that. So the next one that we're going to discuss is
National origin of home buyers. So that's
Yeah.
basically the same statistic as before.
no, this is people that were born in the United States.
Okay, born and not born age range
Yes.
wise. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the well, and that's huge because usually it is easier for someone that was born in the United States to acquire like a loan
Yes.
if they established credit when they were younger. Or maybe you can hear because that was our case. I wasn't born here, obviously, and
Obviously. Continue.
okay, and which you can still do it, but the numbers are showing that usually people that born here, it doesn't say the ethnicity because you were born here.
I was born
and
here.
I think you are like, still Colombian.
I would like to think that I'm Colombian. I was raised that way, but I was born here though.
Yes, you are.
Obviously.
Okay, first time buyers, and this is something huge that I want us to have a
Accentuate
deep
and
dive.
focus on.
Yes.
Yes.
And the reason why is because of the message that we always hear everywhere. So 25 to 35, the amount of people that are buying property for the first time home buyers are 75%. What does that mean?
That means that you are never too young to buy real estate. You do not have to wait 50 million years. You can start now.
That's one point, but one way to see it. And the other way to see it, that's the approach that I want to take from my case, my part, and I want to hear yours, is that we are trained, and at least we're buying properties, which is great. Let me just put it in one camera and I say it here. So that's great. We buy properties, but we buy properties as a primary residence. And our primary residence is not an asset; it's a liability. And we're gonna discuss this more further in the next couple of shows. But our mindset have to switch in terms of like, why do we buy the property?
Yes.
If 75% of people within that age group are buying as a primary residence,
Yes.
it's going to be hard for them to buy an investment property moving forward. Why? Because usually the loans are more in favor for the primary residence and instead of investment properties.
Mhm.
So unless they do a strategy like house hacking, which a lot of them are not doing it. I think we are buying properties. They're buying properties, but I think they're buying properties in my opinion. If you want to become financially free, invest in real estate for the wrong reasons. But they're buying it. That's great. But if you look at the other age groups, it becomes a lot smaller because they already have investment properties, or they're buying a house that they want to live in after having like a couple multiple properties.
Yes. That is definitely true. What I feel is, since I've been surrounded by a lot of people who are investors and have that investor mentality, a lot of the younger people that fit in that age range that I've seen are doing it to do house hacking, which is where you buy a property, you only live in one little unit of it, and you rent out all the other units to other tenants, which basically is paying your mortgage for you. That is a great strategy, and that I feel is now getting more common, which is why I hear a lot of people doing it. But I do understand why a lot of other motivations is to be able to just live in that house themselves and not be able to rent it out to other people. So I do see why that's a liability in and of itself.
And the reason itself is because people might not have the information that when we like the same as school thought that okay, you have to finish high school, go to college, get a job, and then just work there for like so many years in the same industry, and
Buy
then
a house,
eventually buy a house, buy the house in the suburb, and retire when you're 65 and or 75 and 80. Go travel the world when you be able to stay awake for like the whole day because you're so tired.
When you have arthritis.
Yes, yeah. And then you look at the meme about the old couple in Venice is sleeping in the gondola because they're so tired.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. It's great that they're buying properties, but I think that part of our mission is help families become financially free to real estate investing. So our goal is to try to switch that a little bit. I'm not saying that you should not buy property. I'm sorry, primary residence. Yes, but in our opinion, it should not be the first one and the second or third one. Sometimes even even the fourth. It depends on your goals. Unless you're gonna do
House hacking.
house hacking or with co-living, something like that.
Co-living is also growing and very big as well. but
Okay,
yes.
so let's go back to go deep in terms of the reasons why they're buying properties.
So the highest ones that we have so far is, like you said, desire to own a home of my own. Well, if they mean a home of my own for investing, great. But if they mean to live in there, me, myself, and I with my family, then that differentiates it and makes it a little trickier. But that is the biggest one by a lot too, as well.
Yes, and if you see, that's the biggest one in your generation is 49%.
In every generation.
And every generation, but usually if you see that the second one, and for the youngest generation is not really the biggest one, and when you're getting older, it becomes more important.
Yes, there's a desire to be closer to a family, friend, and relative. We are actually 25 to 33. That is the lowest out of all the other ones of the motivation wise, because we're in an age where you just want to. You've been with your family for the last 25 years. They can wait just a little.
You want to be far away from home.
Not far away from home, just, But yeah, with 69 to 77, that is when it's the highest motivation. But.
And then the next one is retirement. Something that I want to point out is that people are retiring a lot sooner than before. You know, and you see a lot of people in the 40s that retire because they just don't want to work anymore. So we see that showing up here. Some of the 42s, 44 to 58 retire, desire to live in a better area. They usually happen when you have kids. So you see the numbers here.
Getting bigger.
Getting bigger. Desire to have a smaller home, which that's usually the empty nesters. When you see when the 59 to 98, when they say, you know what, the kids are going. They're gone. We have a 4 or 5 bedroom home. I don't need it anymore. It's a 2-level. I'm so tired. I want to have like a smaller house.
Yeah,
Okay?
for our generation, as you can see, that's not even an option. We want the biggest home possible. But yes, I can see it. Oh, this one's really bigger. Desire for a larger home. That is a big motivation that I see indeed. But as you said, when people get older, it gets smaller because your knees start to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them.
Not me.
Not you.
Okay, so new and previous own home purchases. So that means that in terms of like,
are they new builds or are they not new builds? Have they previously been owned by a tenant, a landlord before or not?
Yes. And we went there, and now I'm gonna point. I wanted you to point it out. We went to network last time. It was a property.
Yes.
Someone that built to rent, running properties to rent.
Yes.
And the reason why he says that he decided he preferred to build single family homes instead of like duplex, triplex is because of.
He said that renovating a home was almost as expensive, if not more expensive, than building a brand new one from scratch, which did shock me a little bit. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think it depends on the market. It depends on the market because you have to take into consideration how much you're gonna buy the lot you're gonna build the house,
the zonings
and the zoning and everything. If you're in a really expensive area, just the lot by itself is a lot of money. And there's something that caught my attention as well. I want you to comment to that. Is that they said that usually some people that have the opportunity to live in a single family house, they prefer to do that and instead in a 2-family house because they don't want to share
a wall with people. I feel like this is the same path that goes when it comes to talking about co-living, where you rent it by the room and not by the unit itself, where you have to share a bathroom, share a common area, share living space, share parking. I feel like right now we are less closed-minded than we were before, but we are still slightly closed-minded in the aspect where you can co-live with people, where you can share a room with people, share a wall with people. But certainly I feel like when people buy their own home, they're like, I know I did not just spend or invest, as we like to say. You're not spending, you're investing. I am not going to invest all this money to then have to share it with someone else.
Yep. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
However, we have to go back to what is our main goal.
Objective and
our
goal.
Objective, our end goal. And a lot of people are not even clear what the end goal is. And that's why they sacrifice it because of those kind of decisions. So they say, I'm working really hard. I'm already like 24, 25 years old. I really want to live by myself. I'm tired. I was living with my parents for all these years. I want to live by myself. I don't want nobody next to me. Some people said that. I don't know who said that.
But who says that?
Okay, so but reality, you have to realize you have to delay gratification sometimes. if you want to become financially free and you want to be able to build and have foundation to grow and have and increase your net worth, you will have to make some sacrifices. I'm not
Yes.
saying that you have to live like in a horrible poor conditions, not ideally, but if you realize what your goal is, that's why we like to do all these shows, and we're gonna keep doing more in English as well. Where you realize, okay, that's my goal, my end goal, and so those are the things that have to happen in order to reach the goal.
I want to pinpoint on what you said about delayed gratification, especially right now in the era where we are living in. I feel that we have to rewire our brains. And I said this in the last one, but we have to rewire our brains to be able to get used to and accept and maybe even seek out delayed gratification, because it is the opposite of what we were raised to be able to learn through our cellular devices, through electricity, through electronics, in and of themselves. We are watching a video and we know that those 15 to 30 seconds are going to make us happy. They give us instant gratification. The second the video is over, we're bored again. We're like, what do we do? Oh, if I even scroll just a tiny bit, I'm going to have that same exact feeling over and over again for hours on end. So when we get to real life situations where we're having to buy a house and it's not the perfect house that we want because an investor came in and swooped it and gave it to a bigger price, we're going to have to make sacrifices, but we don't see the value because we're like, well, this isn't making me happy immediately, so it shouldn't be good. If this isn't making me happy and feel like I'm going to be going through a successful turnaround, then why would I even want to invest in this in the first place? But we have to be able to look beyond that little 5 seconds or 5 years even of uncomfortableness to be able to see the value in it in the future.
And to your point, if you don't have that clear,
Yeah.
so then people say, you know what, forget it. I deserve it. And I understand people then not deserve to have a nice home and have a nice quality of life. Yes, you do. And just all we do. But we have to see different stations of our life. What is more important for us? Okay.
Yes.
And this is a big one. Source of down payment. Where the money is coming from.
Yes. So I'm actually quite shocked to see that 74% for 25 to 33 is savings. So we have been saving very well for a lot of people. The average is 54 for all buyers, but it is taking the whole entire chart by storm again. This is the highest ranked one so far.
And what do you think that's happening?
I think that's happening because I don't think they're taking student loans into consideration, but we're just out of college at that age range. We're saving up for a lot, or we might still be living with our parents, or we might be rooming with someone else. Maybe house expenses are pretty low because we haven't bought a house yet. So then when it comes to buying a house and making our first big purchase that's going to impact us, we do have a good amount of money to save it down.
And then you have the proceeds from a sale of primary residence, which is not big because you guys usually don't have a
primary residence
but
yet.
This is a big one.
Gift from relative or friend. Do you have a gift that you want to give me? Source of the down payment?
Usually that's how it happens. And especially if you get and again,
a good paycheck from Mima, you know.
This is not the show we're gonna talk about that, but in terms of if you apply for a FHA loan, which is Federal Housing Administration kind of loans,
yes,
you can have usually the down payment has to be like 3.5%, and most of that money can come from a gift.
Yes,
because they understand that. Listen, so if it's a child or it's a teenager or young adult, that
they could use it.
Parents might be willing to chip in and help.
That is true.
So that's great. That's great. But I noticed that as well. The 74% of the number here is based on savings, and it seems that they got the experience that in terms of like, listen, I'm not gonna be spending all my money. And I noticed this with you guys, with you and Valerie,
my little sister.
You tend to like, yes, you want to buy things, but at the same time you want to save for the future. And I guess it comes down also to your parents. I mean, to whoever teach you in terms of money, if they teach you, because you're the school that doesn't teach you.
Yes.
And a question for you really quick on a school, the high school, middle school, college, anything they taught you anything in terms of like
finance-wise?
Financials?
Zero. Big old zero. They did not teach much.
About savings, about like tithing?
No, tithing? No. Much less taxes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So sacrifices made to purchase home.
Yes, sacrifices for us 25 to 33. The biggest one is cut spending, like you said, on luxury items or non-essential items.
I really wanted that. I really want that Mac. I want that Mac. Come on.
I wanted that Mac.
All my friends.
Oh, well, for honestly, right now and this is ridiculous, but it makes sense. Skincare, beauty products for those single ladies that are trying to buy homes. I wanted the new, I'm a single lady. Okay. I really wanted that new skincare product. I wanted that new outfit. That's $300 for some reason. But I feel like we've been able to mature earlier and understand, yes, these things are nice, but if we spend them right now, the gratification is going to go away in a couple of months, if so, even weeks.
Yeah.
So we do save the money instead.
And then you have the entertaining.
Spend on entertainment. Concert tickets have been getting ridiculously expensive and high. So I've seen a lot of friends who told me, well, you can just watch a replay of the concert or you can listen to their music and
so
hear it.
don't pay $10,000 to go see Taylor Swift.
Don't pay 10,000. We're not bringing up Taylor Swift right now.
Oh, no.
But I do understand a slight, like maybe indulgence, maybe twice a year. But I do know a lot of people whose parents spend a lot of money on concert tickets every single week, which could be invested to save it as a down payment.
And it comes down to budgeting. I mean, that comes down to like having allocated money to do that.
Yes.
If you know that you have, for example, just to give a number, $5,000, you're able to spend in concert tickets a year. Okay. So then you'll be more wise buying the concert. Okay, so is this an artist that really would like to see, or should I say maybe a better artist comes? But if you don't have a budget and it's a free show for, I mean, you think it's unlimited, or obviously every single concert is gonna be appealing to you because you have you don't have a metrics, a limit. But when you do have it, you say, you know what, listen, I only have 5,000 or 10,000 or 1,000, whatever the number is, I have to spend it wisely. And then you're going to be able, and then you're going to enjoy it more.
So enjoy it even more when you realize the value of it through sacrifices.
Perfect.
Personally.
So now we're going to talk about in terms of like, what happened? Oh, this is the wrong screen. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties.
Is that the last one?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah. Hold on a second.
Well, we can just keep talking about it.
Continue. Let me just see what happened when
while he's doing that, I'll be talking about it. The one that was the third one was cut spending on clothes, which is what I thought was luxury items in and of themselves. But the clothes variety themselves is really big. But one thing that I also think supported to that is the great popularity and fame that thrifting has brought into our economy. Thrifting is buying pre-used clothes in different stores and different areas. But now it's not that cool to buy the newest clothing. Now the most chic thing is going to a thrift store and getting this new pair of jeans that was like $3. And there's whole entire like accounts dedicated to it. So I feel like that's also been able to help a lot of people's wallets in the end.
Definitely. So to try to bring it home, the numbers are in favor of
the single ladies.
Single ladies. And the reason why is not because the loans are made only for single ladies. The loans are made for anybody. Okay, and that's something really important. People say, "Oh, because here the financial system is
favor a certain."
No, reality, they're gonna see your income, your expenses, they're gonna see your credit score, and the ability to bring money as a down payment. Already, we checked today a couple of the sources. So it's not only for the single or females, but they are the group. That are increasing, that have more buying power right now.
Yes,
and I'm not saying buying power; they're buying more. They're the single males, and the reason why I think that one, because they're more.
There's more of them. Yes.
Number one, number two, they have the desire usually to improve their finances, and I noticed that like non-stop and different ages, but especially in the younger generation.
Yes.
And I think it's a new school of thinking as well. You know, I don't have to depend. I'm not saying not to get married. Obviously, in your case, when you're like 45, 65, maybe. No?
When you're 65, you can get married.
I'm kidding.
I tell you this.
But I think that's a great opportunity for your generation to buy properties right now.
Take advantage of it. Just know that if other people are doing it, you can do it too.
Okay. And for people that say, you know what, and we already mentioned about it, but I would like to refresh it. In terms of like, I want to wait for the right time. Right now, the numbers are not the greatest. The rates are the highest. Right now, our rates are like around 7%, and the prices are really high. I'm gonna wait until prices come down and rates come down.
Don't wait. Do it.
Yeah, and something that people don't even realize, and if you may be new in the industry, you can refinance. And you can buy a property, and if the numbers make sense and you can afford it, especially if it's an investment property, you buy at 7% right now, and the market and the rates adjust, which a lot of people think they will, and I'm one of them. Eventually, you can refinance. You can just buy a property in the nice condition, a nice place, whatever you want to do, and if you can afford it 7%. When the rates come down to whatever the number they come, because I'm not when I'm making the projections, it's going to be easier and better for you guys because you're going to pay less mortgage at that point. So people say this, and that's another phrase I want to share with you. Don't marry the rate, marry the property.
Oh, that's
How about
true.
that one?
People are scared of the rates.
Yes. So people say
Yes.
you are not marrying the rate. You don't have to be that rate for forever.
Mhm.
If you, like, as a matter of fact, some of that investment we bought it and a little bit higher when the market went so low. We refinanced. We got properties, investment properties with lower in the low threes. Okay, which right now is like
A dream come
it's a
true.
dream come true. So reality is that. So marry the house.
Yes.
Don't marry the rate. Okay. Use your money wisely. Um, just have a plan. If you don't have a plan, and I don't know how to say this in English, but in Spanish says that if you don't have a plan, any bus. I mean, if you don't have a destination, any train, any bus will help. I mean, helps. It
You
works.
don't say it in Spanish.
Or say, okay, it says that el que no sabe para dónde va, cualquier bus le sirve.
Okay. The person who doesn't know where they're going, any bus works for them.
It's
Because you're
good.
moving, so you think you're going somewhere, but in reality, if you don't have a destination, you're going nowhere.
And at the end of the day, that bus is gonna get somewhere.
And that bus is gonna get somewhere, but it might not be where you want to be in the future.
Yes. So let's give a couple advices.
Okay.
And practical advices. Someone is listening to us for the first time. We would like for obviously to thank you.
Thank
Second,
you.
to ask you to follow us and subscribe to our channel. And so that's number two. Number third, someone is watching us and they said, you know what? This makes sense. I would like to start getting into real estate, but I don't know where to start. So what will be your advice? And I'll give you mine. Where to start?
When it comes to where to start is just make sure to first of all plan out your end goal. What do you want to do? Like you said before, what's your destination? But also seek people that can educate you. If you want to be a home buyer, a first-time home buyer, if you don't know where to start when it comes to buying a house, you can make sure to contact me, Victoria Amaya. My Instagram is invest with Victoria. I could definitely get on a phone call with you. We could get lunch or we could get some tea later, but I could definitely educate you on that. We could see where we are financially, see our possibilities, and see how the market's doing. I could get you some options as well, but mostly just education and starting. That is the most important thing. Most people who say they don't know where to start have what it takes to start in the beginning, or they will get there in a short amount of time because they've already wired it in their brain.
Yeah, in terms of excuses, we're gonna get a couple of them. I don't have experience. I don't have any money. And I don't have experience. I don't have any money. I don't have any time. So let's knock each one of them. I don't have any experience. So how can you get experience?
By going to networking events, by contacting people who do
watching our show,
reading a book, listening to a podcast while you're walking the dogs. If you don't have experience, that means that you have the time to invest into gaining that experience or offering your time to someone who has that experience but says they have no time.
And we have our shows on Spotify, so you can watch it.
And you can listen to it anywhere.
Okay, so I have experience, so you knock that one down.
Yes.
I don't have any time.
I don't have any time. It correlates with I don't have experience. Well, there's young, hungry people out there who are willing to do anything to be able to give you value. So they're willing to trade their time that you can just give with your expertise. If you have a great credit score, but they don't, you can partner up in that kind of formation. But there's always someone that's going to fit your puzzle piece that you're missing.
Yeah, and I love what you say. And also I want to add that this is the only commodity that we always all have the same, regardless of how successful it is. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, anybody. We all have the same 24 hours. It's not like, okay, rich people have 48 hours. That's why they can do more. We always have 24 hours. So, and I don't have any money.
You have the time as well. When it comes to no experience and no money, you have the time. Oh, the main thing that everyone says is, I don't have any money. Well, if you have the right deal and the perfect deal, anyone with money will get that deal for you or will partner up with you for that deal. So if you do not have any money, you have the time to invest into your knowledge and to look in the market and to do the phone calls needed and to contact the people and to do the nitty gritty that people who have already invested time and money don't want to do. You have to do the scrap work, find the perfect deal, knock it down, and then go up to anyone that does have money and then be like, hello, I have this perfect deal. Do you want to partner up with me? And then 9 out of 10 times they will say yes, if it's the right deal and if you give that trust to them.
Totally. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. We have to play the game with the cards that we are dealt. And if we are young and we have enough time, so we use that time wisely to be able to add value to someone that either has money or has experience. But if you have money and you have time and then you have experience, you get someone who has money. And you have the three of them. And I know people with the three of them and they don't start is because their mindset is they said, you know what? I really want to be 100%. They have the analysis paralysis, which is great that they listen to our show. But a lot of people, I know people have been listening to us for years, and they're going to courses and networking events. Every week we see them in the same networking event, and they never buy a house. Why? Because they need to take action. And let's talk about taking massive action.
Well, analysis paralysis is one main thing that I have heard. You don't think you're ready yet. You're scared. You want to wait for the perfect property to show up on your doorstep. It's going to be at a 3% interest. It's going to have to be less than 10% down payment. It's going to be great. And then 100% that this property is going to be a success. If everyone knew that a property was going to be 100% success rate, then the competition would be so high, and then no one would be able to get any houses. Real estate comes with risks, the double R, real estate risks, risk with real estate. You have to be able to trust in yourself and also do enough analyzing and run the numbers to be like, well, statistically this should work, but I also have to put a little bit of faith in it in the end.
Totally. And it comes at the end, used to build a team. You need to surround yourself with the right team.
You cannot do it alone.
No, you can. I mean, real estate is a sport. It's a team sport. In that case, it goes back to the importance of relationship with the real estate agent that has an investor mindset, if that's what you want to do. 85% of the real estate agents had a license for many years. I started renewing it recently. I was licensed in New York, New Jersey, and I noticed, and the numbers said it, the 85% of the agents are prepared and focused and organized to serve the numbers. 75% of people are buying primary residence. So the 75% out of 100 people, 75 of customers are buying primary residence. The agents are preparing themselves to serve those customers. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But our goal here is to teach people how to become financially free, invest in real estate. So that way, you need to find someone, a real estate team, a broker, an attorney that is specialized in working with the real estate investors.
More than just first-time home buyers.
And can you speak about that a little bit?
With that, I definitely think it's very true. There's a lot of real estate agents that I've been able to work with, me included, who have been able to be grown surrounded by these investors, this investor mindset. In the beginning, there was a stigma for real estate agents, and they were kind of scared in the beginning to get in contact with investors because it's a little more tricky, because you have to change your way of thinking. You have to think, well, will this house be the perfect house for them forever? No, you have to think, well, will this house be able to bring them passive income in the future? Which is one thing that I'm blessed to have been able to have been taught from an early age, which is why there's now more modern and more new and regenerized agents who have more experience with that, who have more knowledge with that. But most of all, if you're an investor and you come up to them, they're like, perfect, I'll find you the house that's going to get you passive income that you're looking for. And they're just not going to stick to that basic residence, first-time home buyers, the loan for that, the FHA, all of that.
So the conversation goes from like, this is a beautiful house with a beautiful kitchen, with a beautiful carpet, beautiful hardwood floors.
It's going to go to this property, this location's growing, and it's right next to uptown, the highway.
These are the numbers. This is return on investment. These are
the cap rate.
The cap rate. This is the kind of renovation that you want to make. This is the rent roll you can get in
the zonings
this market,
as well.
The zoning, and the projection in terms of acquisition power for the people that are within the area. And if people are moving to the area, get into all those
statistics and numbers that investors light up with, and the ones that they want here immediately, we are educated in that now.
Yeah, so that's huge. So I would like to why don't you, so if people hopefully we're gonna be able to keep having you in the show, because I really enjoyed it.
Let me know if you guys want me to keep being on the show or not.
Yeah,
I might listen if you guys tell me.
But in the meantime, you're creating a lot of content. You're doing a lot of open houses. You're doing a lot of like clips and a lot of different advice that you give, usually in is bilingual. You're doing English, Spanish. So if someone wants to be able to follow you because they want to know more about you, they want to follow your career, or they want to be motivated by you, or they want to be presented by you,
or if they want to be represented by me. If you guys want to buy a house, or if you're an investor or a first-time home buyer, make sure to check me out. If you want to get in contact with me, I'm 100% free. My Instagram user, my overall user is Invest with Victoria. Invest with Victoria. Inversiones con Victoria, pero así es. And Instagram and Facebook as well. For YouTube, I will be starting to post more on YouTube as well, because this is a nice setup, and I think you'll be seeing me with or without my father. I will be making videos in the future, but make sure to reach out to me if you want to call me. My phone number is 914-536-0171. Again, 914-536-0171. Message me, call me, contact me. I just want to be able to help as many people as possible, but also be able to teach you guys about real estate in the process.
Totally. So you're presenting buyers and sellers as well.
Yes.
People that do a fix and flip and want to get the top dollars for their houses. Your team can represent them as well, correct?
Yes, my team can also represent you guys in
Wonderful.
the best way
So,
possible.
so this was a fun show. I really enjoyed doing it. So if you just connect with us, we spoke up in terms of the generations of what are they investing in, what kind of properties are they buying, and what is the reason they're buying and where the money is coming from. So if you guys want to see more about it, just send us a message. And we're gonna be having more guests in the Spanish and English as well. And then Victoria's gonna start bringing their own guests as well.
I will be starting my own podcast and bringing my own guests. Let it be this studio or a different one, but I am very excited because I've always
you can use this one.
I can use this one.
I can rent it. I can rent it for you.
Rent it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cook for you for every single time that I have a guest on this podcast.
Okay, you guys.
You guys heard it here.
You guys heard it here. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the show, and then we had an amazing time. I really enjoyed having you here, and would like to do this again. And we just want to remind you guys that our mission is to provide our families, the family, the opportunity to become financially independent, invest in real estate. We know that family is the base of society. Right now, we are in election year. People thinking of all the horrible things and great things are happening right now. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the family. You know, you close the door, and whatever happens within the family, I think that's the base of society. And if you have families that are financially free because they invest in real estate, they spend more time with the kids. They have more like quality flexibility. So that's our goal, and that's our mission. So we're gonna be doing great things moving forward. With a couple of challenges in Spanish coming up. We might do one in English, so we can just give like a lot of information for you guys. And we're preparing a lot of different tools for you guys to use and achieve your dreams. So.
But then again, thank you so much for being here. Comment down below any topics that you want us to touch about, your favorite part of this show, and then 2 takeaways that you had while watching this.
How many takeaways?
2, not 1, 2. Just
Okay.
make sure y'all are listening.
Okay. So can you close it out?
I just wanted to thank you again for your time. I hope you guys learned something from here. I hope you guys enjoyed being here. I know I sure as heck did. I had an amazing time. Then again, this is Victoria and
Carlos Amaya.
we will be seeing you again.